You have more power over your life than what you think. And marketing is such a difficult position to be in some of the time. It's one where often we're seen as the outsiders in the profession. In most of the jobs that I've had to be an agent of change. I've come into businesses and they wanted, in particular, a strategic marketer to come in and transform a lot of how the business is done in terms of its structure to growth and making revenue. And that has required me to instigate change. Sometimes I've had amazing support from the leadership that I worked at. Other times it's been mixed, and there have been times more than once where I've had to fight for my position in terms of just being employed and working for the company. And it has been a difficult journey, I have to say. Sometimes I think to myself, I think I mentioned this in a previous episode, if I had remained an accountant, which is what I initially studied, maybe I would have had a more stable life. Maybe my life would have just, kind of just gone in one straight line, and that would have been it. I would have been earning a reasonable amount of money. I would have had stability in my life and all of that. But I picked this profession, and this profession carries a lot of risk. Marketing is one of the professions that, in Australia at least, when there's restructures, it often is the one that is the victim of the layoff. And I don't understand that, to be honest, because marketing is the revenue generation engine of the business. And to cut that off in terms of restructuring makes no sense at all. Often what happens is that they replace the marketers with more junior marketers. And while that might save money in the short term, what about the long-term impact of that? Because what happens, and I've seen this happen, is that they end up rehiring those roles and paying them more when they could have actually just kept those roles and paid them the same. And when you're facing this kind of instability in your life, it can become really easy to feel like you're the problem, to feel like you don't deserve to be in the room, to think that you don't deserve to have the salary that all those other people at the same who carry a similar title to yourself have. And then the market also creates this, or I guess manifests this situation, because the marketer is always the one that earns the least money, at least in Australia, in a senior leadership team. The marketer is the one, if they're not protected by their leadership team and by their CEO, who faces the issues in a business head on in terms of being the target for some of those things. And it's a very, very difficult position to be in. But I'm here to tell you today that you have more power than you think, because marketing is based on a lot of research. It's based on strategy, and not everyone can do that. And a great marketer is someone that is able to take those principles of marketing and not only put them into a business, but also into themselves. Over the past year, I have been undergoing a huge personal transformation myself. And what I've actually done is that I have taken a lot of those principles that I learned in marketing, that I teach in terms of marketing, and I put that into my actual life. And I have to say, my life has actually gotten significantly better. So what are these things that I've been doing? Okay, the first thing, and I've talked about this in previous episodes, is to be consistent. I am someone who preaches consistency. Sometimes the difference between you and someone else is a consistent habit. That's all it is. It's not talent, it's nothing else. It's the fact that someone else is just doing the things. And over time, they're going to get the action because they put their attention on it. They're constantly putting their attention on it. And over time, that works. That's a key principle in marketing. Another principle that I really lean on in marketing is the fact that you're not shadow hustling or you're not super hustling. And I've gotten into situations in the past where I have shadow hustled and where I have, really pushed. But what I've found over time is that that's actually not a principle of marketing. With marketing, we create the reality around us so that naturally these things start to happen. And we don't have to actually rely on hustling to get by because the brand, the packaging around the product, the pricing, those 4 or 7 P's that we're always preaching about actually makes things work. And I've applied this to my life, and I've started applying this to my own career, and I've been finding that it actually does work. The other thing that I've been doing that I really haven't done much of is presenting myself in the way that I want to be seen. I think sometimes when you're in roles where you're a agent of change, it can be really easy to feel and then to act, or not, I wouldn't say act, but look the part of not of, I guess, not being as worthy as other people. These days, I dress for my role. These days, I will present in a manner that is professional and polished because that's the kind of marketer that I see myself as being. And I would encourage you to do that. Like, you look at, a lot of the way celebrities present themselves, politicians present themselves, and it sometimes it comes down to that. It builds trust. Do that for yourself. You will also feel better. I love wearing this dress. It actually makes me feel great. I wore this dress on a work from home day, and I had a couple of meetings today, and I felt really good in those meetings. And then I taught a class in this dress, and I felt professional teaching that class. So the packaging around you actually does make a difference. Another thing is to use words. Marketers, a lot of us are great writers. There's so many marketers, especially on the strategic side, that I've met that are great writers. Use it. You don't need to rely on AI. You can actually write. Remember that, because in a world where the writing standards is actually going up as a result of AI, we need to practice our talent. We need to keep going with this. Like, we've got that talent. I would say the same for someone that is more graphically design inclined. Use that talent. Obviously, you can use AI and things like that. It's another tool, but you've got that talent. You've got that imagination. Use it. Use that to get you ahead. And you can find a lot of joy in that. Marketing is also a very positive profession. Most people that I've met in marketing are pretty happy. But when I was working as an accountant, there's a lot of negativity there because you're looking at historical data, you're looking at the past consistently. Marketing looks at the future. And if you apply that to your life and you think about the future that you want to create and the way that you want to live your life, there's nothing that's going to stop you. You can get there. And if you just follow those principles, you can achieve whatever you want to achieve. This is a bit of a short podcast as well, I know, but I just wanted to, come on here and encourage you to keep going, keep being a marketer, keep those spirits up in this profession, because sometimes, you got to believe in yourself. Like, we spend so much time believing in brands and in products and in the businesses that we work for. Put that into yourself and watch yourself succeed and thrive and stay in this profession.